Why the cross? A Catholic narrative reflection. There was a moment in human history when suffering seemed to have the final word. Pain, injustice, betrayal, fear, they ruled the world silently. Humanity had learned how to survive, but had forgotten how to heal. According to the Bible, sin was not merely wrongdoing. It was a fracture, a broken relationship between humanity and God, a distance no human effort could cross. And so, God did not send a message. He did not send a law. He did not send an angel. He came himself. In Jesus of Nazareth, God entered history, not as a king, not as a warrior, but as a vulnerable human being. He walked our roads. He felt hunger, rejection, exhaustion, grief. He loved deeply and was misunderstood deeply. Yet Jesus' life alone was not the completion of his mission, because love, when it is real, eventually faces the question of sacrifice. The cross was not an accident, it was not a failure of Jesus' mission, and it was not God demanding pain. Jesus himself said, "No one takes my life from me. I lay it down freely." The crucifixion was his choice, not forced by power, but embraced by love. Why was this necessary? Because humanity did not only need forgiveness, humanity needed healing. Forgiveness spoken from heaven might erase guilt, but it would not touch human suffering. So God chose another way. He entered suffering. On the cross, Jesus carried betrayal, injustice, loneliness, violence, fear, everything the human heart knows too well. He did not escape pain. He transformed it from within. The cross tells us something extraordinary about God. Not that he is distant, not that he is untouched, but that he is present even in the darkest moment. In ancient times, crucifixion was the most humiliating death, reserved for the rejected, the forgotten, the condemned. And yet, God chose that place to say to every suffering human being, "You are not alone, I have been there. Your pain is seen, the Father did not punish the Son." In Catholic belief, the Father and the Son were united in one act of love. God was not demanding blood. God was giving himself. That is why Christians do not glorify suffering. We glorify love that refuses to abandon. The cross was not the end, because love stronger than death cannot remain buried. The resurrection is God's answer to the cross. It declares that suffering does not have the final word. Hatred does not have the final word. Death does not have the final word. Love does. When Christians look at the crucifix, they do not see defeat. They see the measure of divine love. A God who chose wounds so humanity could be healed. A God who chose the cross so no human pain would ever be meaningless again. And that is why the crucifixion matters. Not because God needed suffering, but because humanity needed to know how far love is willing to go.